Right now, doing the passing of the People's Pope, how millions are remembering Pope Francis, plus his final message to the world. And two people charged in connection with the death of an Evansville teenager appear in court. We'll have the outcome from both suspects. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us on this Monday afternoon. I'm Josh Spreiter. Right now, the Catholic Church is in a 9-day period of mourning following the death of Pope Francis. The Vatican announcing the 88-year-old pontiff died this morning. This is a live look right now. His death coming less than 24 hours after he appeared in St. Peter's Square for Easter. Jared Hill reports.
Bells tolled throughout St. Peter's Square in Vatican City as mourners gathered to remember Pope Francis.
It's a very sad day for the Roman Catholic faith.
It's a stark contrast to scenes of joy on Easter Sunday.
Cari fratelli.
The 88-year-old pontiff delivered a message to the faithful, then greeted cheering crowds from the Pope-mobile for what would be the final time.
We can't believe it's happened while we're here. You know, he was a lovely Pope. We're very sad about it.
Last month, Pope Francis was released from the hospital after a 5-week stay for life-threatening double pneumonia. In his Easter address read by an aide, the Pope called for an end to violence in a number of major conflicts and urged compassion for marginalized people and migrants.
It was somehow just symbolically and spiritually apt that a Pope who was so beholden to being there for the forgotten people of the world, at the very end, that's how he went out as well.
Catholic churches around the world, including St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York, are now holding daily prayer services in honor of Pope Francis. He earned the name the People's Pope during his 12 years leading the church.
He was trying to allow people to feel included more, to give hope and more compassion. He just didn't tolerate anyone who felt that they were superior to anyone else or that they were better than.
This evening, Vatican officials will preside over a solemn ritual, placing the Pope's body in a coffin, which will eventually be placed at St. Peter's Basilica. Pope Francis will lie in state there for several days before his funeral. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Vatican officials say Pope Francis's body could be moved to St. Peter's Basilica as early as Wednesday. Then in 15 to 20 days, cardinals from around the world will descend on Rome to elect a new pope. We have local reaction to the passing of Pope Francis. Forward Latino of Wisconsin releasing a statement this morning saying Pope Francis bore the weight of the marginalized and persecuted, feeling deeply responsible for their safety and well-being. The statement goes on to say during this time of false and inflammatory rhetoric of attacks on human dignity and promises of mass deportations, the flock awakens without its shepherd and is amongst the wolves. Now to a live look at SSM Health's South Stoughton Road location where victims of the Abundant Life Christian School shooting will be honored with a ceremonial tree planting. It's happening momentarily here at 12:30 this afternoon. 3 people, including the shooter, died in the December 16th incident. 6 others were injured. During the ceremony, Madison Mayor Sati Rhodes Conway will read a mayoral proclamation recognizing the work done by the staff at the clinic, which was used as the incident's family reunification center. 2 people charged in connection with the death of a 14-year-old Evansville girl are in court today. 26-year-old Hunter Drefall and 20-year-old Alyssa Aarons face several charges. They include child sexual assault. They are not charged with the teenager's death. Police arrested the pair after a shooting that left 14-year-old Florencia Henthorne dead. Drefall is pleading not guilty to his charges. A jury trial date has not yet been set. Aarons' initial appearance is being rescheduled for April 29th. A 20-year-old man charged with killing a woman and injuring 2 kids in a car accident is in court right now. Ryan Bertrand faces several charges, including homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle. The crash happened on March 6th on Madison's west side. 67-year-old Mary Pritchard died in that crash. Police reports say he told officers he had been drinking all day. A wet and dreary start to the work week. First Warn meteorologist Jacob Montesano has your certified most accurate forecast. He's out on the weather patio. Hi, Jacob.
Hey Josh, the good news is that the rain is pretty much done for today, but we're going to see several chances of rain throughout the week. But right now, we're not seeing anything on radar. Might see a few sprinkles here and there, but nothing really consistent. But we are going to continue to see some cooler temperatures, 40s right now across the board. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we're seeing some breezy conditions. Here's a look at the current wind speeds, around 10 to 20 miles per hour. Some areas, the winds are a bit stronger, and so that's going to keep temperatures from rising too much further. further throughout the day. But we are going to see highs roughly in the lower 50s. Now, the good news also, like I mentioned, we're done with rain, but we also are going to see this clouds clear out of the area by the later afternoon and especially the evening. We may see sunshine before we get to sunset, and then we're going to see clear skies to start the overnight hours before more rain moves in later in the night. But looking at the rest of today, again, high temperatures will be in the lower 50s, maybe a little bit warmer further south and west where there will be a little bit more sunshine, cooler further north and east. And then as we get to the overnight hours, we'll see lows dropping into the middle and upper 30s, but we are going to see the start of almost a daily chance of rain for the rest of the week. I'll talk more in detail about when you can expect precipitation coming up a little bit later.
All right, Jacob, we'll see you in Maine weather. Thank you. Well, we are just 3 days away from the NFL draft in Wisconsin, and News 3 Now is getting you ready for the big event all this week. Our Eric Franke will be providing team coverage with sports director Zach Hanley, along with Andrew Banstra and our Packers contributor Jason Wilde. They'll have the sights, sounds, and strategy leading up to this week's draft picks. Still ahead for us this afternoon. If you have a question or concern about your plants or garden, now's the time to send us your questions via email to tips@channel3000.com. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company will join us later in the broadcast with the answers. Again, that is tips@channel3000.com. But first at noon, what movies topped the weekend box office, plus why new U.S. customs regulations are making it harder for shipping packages to the U.S.
U.S. customs regulations are making it harder for one major European shipper to send packages to the U.S. Starting today, DHL says it will suspend business-to-consumer shipments to the U.S. that value more than $800. The company says it's due to additional processing required for packages at that dollar threshold. DHL says the move is temporary and that business-to-business shipping will not be directly impacted, though those shipments may face some delays. Today, Vice President J.D. Vance is kicking off a 4-day visit to India for talks toward a bilateral trade deal. The talks come weeks after President Donald Trump announced his now paused reciprocal tariffs against U.S. trading partners, which included a 26% tax on goods from India. And director Ryan Coogler's vampire flick Sinners slayed the competition in theaters, earning more than $45 million domestically to top the weekend box office. A Minecraft movie is still going strong after dropping to second with $41 million. Animated Christian feature The King of Kings was third with $17 million. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Here's the stock report at the noon hour. The Dow is down 1,100 points, NASDAQ down 537, and the S&P 500 down 141. We'll have today's farm numbers ahead, along with the first warn forecast. Then later on Live at 4, our friends at Madison Magazine tell us when you can expect the Madison Public Market to open.
And of course, we're just asked to wait a little bit longer because there are some
Pam Bianchi is out of the radio barn on vacation, so here are your farm numbers. We're staying unsettled this week. First Warn meteorologist Jacob Montesano has the forecast, and nothing but quiet this week.
Yeah, definitely going to see plenty of chances of rainfall, but the good news is that we're going to see mild temperatures after today. 60s for tomorrow, 70s for Wednesday, also Thursday. But as we've been talking about, we have almost daily chances of rainfall starting tomorrow. We had some rain earlier, but we're going to be done with rain for the rest of today. And there also is some minor chances of severe weather. We don't have any alert days in the forecast, but tomorrow specifically, specifically, we could see some minor severe weather, mainly in the form of some large hail. We have a marginal risk for just about everybody. Far northern counties not in this marginal risk. But again, really the only risk will be the hail, so we don't have an alert day in the forecast. But let me show you the chances of storms that we're expecting. Now, like I mentioned, throughout the rest of today, we're not going to see any precipitation. We'll see clear skies around sunset, but then clouds will move back into the area after midnight, and especially during the morning tomorrow, we do have a chance of some thunderstorms. We'll see them passing through, especially around 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. But even after that 9 a.m. hour, we could still see some lingering showers and storms, especially for areas south. And then for Tuesday afternoon, we still have the chance for some showers and storms, but it looks like they're not going to be quite as strong as the storms in the morning. And then as we get towards Tuesday night, we're going to see potentially more consistent precipitation, especially south of Madison for Tuesday night into very early Wednesday. And it does look like we'll start out dry Wednesday morning after sunrise, but then we're going to see more precipitation move back into the area for Wednesday afternoon. So continuing throughout the week, Wednesday afternoon, more showers and storms expected. Still going to exceed some of that light precipitation Wednesday night into Thursday. Thursday right now looks to be the driest day of the next 4 through the rest of the work week, because once we get to Thursday night, we're going to see consistent precipitation move into the area, and that's going to continue as we head into Friday, especially during the morning Friday, possibly lasting into the afternoon, finally clearing out by the evening and early overnight hours Friday. And then finally Saturday looks like we are going to be dry. So although we're not going to see complete washouts every day, might see that late Thursday night and early Friday, but we are going to see the chance of some showers and thunderstorms pretty much every day. Again, starting late tonight into Tuesday morning. Tuesday night, not going to see quite as much. Wednesday, it'll mostly be later in the day. Thursday, a little bit drier, but still have the chances of rain. And then Thursday night and early Friday, that's the best chance of rainfall right now. But even with that, we are still not expecting complete washout conditions. So that's one of the good news. The other good news is that we are going to see very comfortable temperatures, highs in the 60s and 70s after today. And for the most part, that's going to continue through the end of the 10-day forecast. Might drop a little bit for Sunday. But the weekend overall does look to be roughly the driest period of time over the next 10 days, because we may see more precipitation move back into the area for next work week. So although we have a lot of rain chances, this is pretty common for this time of the year, and the good news is that we're not expected to see anything very severe. We do have that minor chance of severe weather tomorrow, but no alert days in the forecast, despite several chances of thunderstorms. And also, like I mentioned, temperatures will be pretty comfortable.
Yeah, we'll take the temperatures, and we don't need any severe weather, especially after Friday's hail.
Yeah, that's the good news with all this rainfall. Hopefully, nothing changes for right now.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Let's see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
I hope you had a nice Easter. And if you're like most of us, your fridge is probably stuffed with leftovers, including a bunch of hard-boiled eggs. So let me share with you how you can quickly turn them into some of the best egg salad you've ever had. The first thing I want to stress is that if you have any Easter eggs, decorated or not, that you use for an Easter egg hunt or that sat out for some time, you should definitely throw those out, as they may not be safe to eat. But for all the rest, and there are probably plenty, all we need to do is finally chop them with a chopper like this, or we can use a fork to sort of smash them. If you got a lot, now would be a good time to pull out your food processor. To that, we add some chopped celery and onion, a touch of yellow mustard, some mayo, and a bit of salt and pepper. A good mix, and there you have it. A basic egg salad that's ready to eat as is, to top on a green salad, or to make into a sandwich. You see, the celery and onion give it a welcome crunch, and the mustard adds just the right kick. So here's what I suggest. Go online and print the recipe for what we call perfect egg salad, and I think you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an exceptionally good way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Ahead at noon, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. Email them to tips@channel3000.com. We'll get the answers next. Welcome back. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. You can email them to tips@channel3000.com. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
April showers bring May flowers, hopefully.
Yeah. What do Mayflowers bring?
I don't know.
Pilgrims.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I did not know that. I learned something new. You're always teaching me something.
So we brought some begonias today.
Love
Lots
it.
of new plants are coming into the garden center because it's spring. Yay.
Busy time for you.
Like 10 trucks this week.
I believe it.
I left. We've already had 2 truck loads full of trees.
Wow.
This morning.
It's been a busy time. Everyone's trying to get out. Obviously, the weather is
Yes.
kind of hindering that a little bit, but.
Yeah, but I mean, the forecast looks good. Just remember that if you're putting stuff out, that warm weather will cause things to move along, and you might have to do some protection from frost later.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get to the questions. A lot of questions here today. We're going to start with Lisa from Judah. She asks when, I'm going to say this wrong. How do you say it?
Scaviola.
Scaviola do well planted with wave petunias.
So scaviola is also called fan flower.
Okay.
It's sort of a cascading plant that is, the flower is really good for sun or shade. So it would be fine with wave petunias. It's
I
a
like
different,
that.
it's a different texture. It's a really cool flower.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get to Suzanne. Suzanne wants to know if it's too late to transplant rhubarb this year.
If your rhubarb is just coming up, Suzanne, go ahead and dig it out. You can split it and then move it around. Make sure, though, that before you do this, that your shovel is sharp. Rhubarb can be quite fibrous, and a sharp shovel will help you make better cuts and also do less damage.
And it's easier to use when you have a sharp shovel. All right, question 3 comes from Ray. Ray wants to know that she has a good-sized bed of asparagus, peonies, and rhubarb filled with grass. What can she do to get rid of the grass? She has hand-weeded, used salt, and black tarp, and the grass keeps coming through.
So normally if you just had grass in a perennial bed, you could use Grass Be Gone. It's super effective. But because you have some edibles in there, mainly your rhubarb and asparagus, you're going to want to use a herbicide called Over the Top. We have it at the garden center, but it's rated to use in spaces that have edible plants in there.
Oh, that's good to know.
And it'll be good for it won't harm the peonies either.
I've heard that from you before. That must be a big, very popular one.
Yeah, well, asparagus plant beds often get a lot of grass in there. That's just annoying.
Makes sense. All right, question 4 comes from George. George is wondering if you have any suggestions for keeping squirrels from digging in potted plants.
My sister has that problem too. You're going to want to use a scent repellent, George, usually something granular, and you could just put it in your pots. There are all kinds of them on the market. I especially like Shake Away. There's a Fox version, and it's just basically freeze-dried urine. It's not stinky but the squirrels can sure smell it.
They can be pesky.
They can be pesky, yes.
Carrie wants to know, he mulched his shrub rose to about 5 inches last fall, and now he checked it out, and all the branches are broken off right at the height of the mulch. What happened? Did the same thing with his other shrub rose, and it's fine.
So it could be that maybe some snow got piled on there or some kind of animal sat on it. Broken branches kind of say that this is something that was physical that happened to it. The good news is that shrub roses are on their own roots, so 9 times out of 10 when he pulls that mulch away, he'll have new growth coming from the roots, and that will be the same thing that he planted.
All right, we had some really good questions today.
We did have good questions
This
today.
is such an exciting time of the year. It's like everything's coming back, you know, there's some life, it's greening up.
So exciting. Every day is
so much
like
more
Christmas.
Life. I love it. Lisa, thank you so much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And hey, we have a live audience in here today.
We do.
Kids, come on in. You're going to funnel in around Lisa and I.
There you go. Somebody come over here.
Not that it's nerve-wracking enough to look at the camera. We have all these kids from St. John's School in Wanakee joining us for a live newscast. So you guys said you wanted to wave to the world. So camera 7, wave at camera 7 to everyone at home watching today. This is live. You're on News 3 now at noon. Pretty cool. So thanks for joining us, guys. We're going to toss it over to Jacob for a final check of the forecast.
Thanks, Josh. We're going to continue to see a good chance of rain for several days this week, and that will continue to help things green up. And temperatures will also be very comfortable starting tomorrow. Still going to be chilly for the rest of the day. We also aren't expecting any further precipitation the rest of today. We could see more rain move in late tonight and into early Tuesday. Another chance of rain Wednesday, more Thursday. Friday right now does look like the best chance to see consistent rain for a good chunk of the day. But notice up until then, we're only going to see about a 30 to 50% chance each day and night, so some areas may miss out on the rain, but overall continuing to see daily rain chances until Saturday, which does look dry, but then we'll continue to see those rain chances next week as temperatures continue to look very comfortable.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Thanks again for joining us, everyone. Kids, wave to camera 7. I'll say channel 7. We're channel 3. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We're back with more on Live at 4.
We're going to just line up with